Well, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Arie, and today I want to talk about something extremely important, okay? I'm going to show you exactly how I pick my interest for success. It is a question I get asked a lot. Arie, I know your strategy. How do you pick interest though? There's so many things that I could do. What are your, what's your criteria? What are your guidelines? What do you follow to pick successful interest? If you've ever had that question in your head, after watching this video today, it will absolutely be answered, so you will never have to wonder ever again. Now guys, I'm gonna show you some awesome stuff in my computer. I'm gonna show you how to pick these interests and also go into my business ads manager to pick these interests so you get more of a visual feel and look at how I do it. But I do wanna say, if you do get any sort of value out of this video, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We're growing so fast. I love the community we're building here. It's so amazing. By the way, yesterday I did order a new camera. So tomorrow, or today or tomorrow, I should be receiving a way better camera with a microphone. Finally fixing this audio issue with the echo and everything. But anyways, guys, let's just hop right into the computer and get started. All right, guys, we're ready to do this. Now, I am here in my business manager account. I'm gonna create an ad for you, or just a campaign, so you can kind of see exactly how I pick these interests. But first, I'm gonna go over a little document here so you understand the whole process prior to doing this. So anyways, I got things highlighted here. I saw my boy Jordan do this, and I thought it was a great idea, so I'm doing it too. So what you will need is essentially all this. I know there's probably some way to do this better, but all right, so the first things you're gonna need is, of course, $25 to $50 to spend on Facebook ads every single day. You might be able to get away with $15 a day, but that's not ideal by any means, and it's likely not to give you any results, but it's still possible. I think that's better than nothing, to be honest. I think it's better to spend that and still learn something than just not spend any at all. Now, this is why, guys, I always tell you to start running Facebook ads, especially with cold audiences. It's gonna take some money, unfortunately, and I know that's not what you want to hear. A lot of people ask me, like, Arie, do you think I can find a winner within like $200? Yes, I think you could, but it's not certain. Nothing is guaranteed. And the fact of the matter is, you should go into this thinking that you will lose it all. That's going to be the best way to cope with when you do lose it all. Because even though that's not guaranteed either. I mean, you might just find a winner right away, but it's still kind of better to think the worst in that situation. Otherwise, you're going to be extremely disappointed, and it's going to make you quit. So that's what you're going to need. You're also going to need patience. Nothing comes overnight. Especially if you just started with Facebook ads. I know you think you're following what other people do, what I do, and you think it's going to give you massive success right away. Of course not. You have to learn. If it was that easy, we would all be rich like first month of Shopify, right? But that's not how it is. You have to, test. You have to experiment, and yeah. And also, I would encourage you, if you are just starting, make sure you check out some of my other Facebook ads videos. And even if you have been following me for a while, I am working on a playlist of some sort. I do think you should check out my other Facebook videos. It's really going to help you out in terms of, just more things. Honestly, my YouTube channel is a course within itself, even though I do have an official course now, which I'm super excited about. So let's just move on here. Okay, so the basic foundation, right? The basic foundation that you're going to have is nothing new. We've talked about this many times in the channel before. So you're going to need 5 to 10 different ad sets. We're going to do $5 a day on each. So that's why let's do $5 per day on each. So we're going to do $5 a day each ad set, right? So that's why it's going to be $25 to $50 per day. But you could potentially do 3 different ad sets. Like I said, I just don't think that's thorough enough to really get any significant results. Now, with these ad sets, how you're going to target in terms of country, and like I said, I'll show you all this in a second in the business manager here, but you're going to target worldwide, excluding the low converting countries. The ones that I usually exclude are India, China, Africa, Pakistan, and sometimes, Indonesia, but not always. Or what you could also do is target only tier 1 countries, which are, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the United States, Sweden, Germany, Norway, and I think there's a couple more. But yeah, you can look that up on Google actually. Google will tell you all the tier 1 countries and you can just target those. I do that sometimes depending on the niche. So for example, if I'm testing something in the outdoors niche, something I've tested before, like, well, you know, with Trend Cove, I kind of know the countries and stuff. And most of them are tier 1 countries. So that's why I'm just going to start right away with tier 1 countries. But usually when it's like a general product that, you know, it doesn't really have a defined audience, it might, it's kind of better to just test worldwide, to be completely honest. Okay, now let's move on to actually what we're going to be doing. So here's the structure that comes into play. As you see, we're gonna separate all of our interests into different categories. So I know you know of my strategy before, but I've never really gone too deep into actually how I target, and this is why I decided to make this video. But the way that I like to do it is, for example, you know, separating different interests into categories. So for example, I'll do 3 assets that are brands within the niche. I'll do, you know, 2 broad interests, right? 2 interests that are super broad, 2 interests that are super narrow and passionate, and then I'll do like 3 magazines in the niche, for example. That is a solid way to structure your campaign in terms of targeting. And the reason why is because you're covering like literally every single possible thing, right? And that's why I have been saying lately that you really just need 10 ad sets. 10 ad sets is probably the most solid way to test. 10 ad sets will definitely give you some results if the product is good, if everything is good, right? I do 20 sometimes whenever I'm really confident in the product, or if I just keep seeing interests that are very interesting to test. But with 10, it will be a good, you know, like once you find some winners within the 10, you can kind of start creating more ad sets similar to those. So you don't have to start with so many. You're kind of, you know, I think 10 is a reasonable spot. Now, within these interests, we're going to find audiences that are within 500,000 people and 20 million people. That's the range that we want. That is the range that I've seen the most success with, okay? But also make sure you test a few broad audiences. Like I said, I test a little bit of everything. I section everything into categories, and I do test some audiences that are very, very big. So for example, above 20 million, audiences that are like 100 million, you know, things like that that can work. They're very broad. I don't prefer them, but it's definitely possible to test with them. So make sure you test that out as well. Everything you need to test, guys. That's one of the things with Facebook ads. You need to really get into the mentality of like a mad scientist. You really do. You need to test so many different things. I have friends that I discuss like weird Facebook ads, things that we're doing, just for the sake of testing new things that nobody else is doing. And honestly, that is how we found pretty much all of our secret little strategies, little hacks that we do to get results, right? Okay, so now we're gonna actually create these and find some of these. So let's do a conversions campaign, of course. That's what we're gonna start with. And we'll do WC. Let's just pretend, what niche should we test in? Let's just pretend we're doing something, I guess, in the beauty niche. So let's just say, you know, beauty niche. And of course, you could do this with like anything. You know what? Let's just do, the reason why I'm going to do this is because of the last video I did. It's the motorcycle niche. So motorcycle niche. And then we're going to do, yeah, that's it for now. Obviously, usually I would name it a little bit further. I would put like the break-even point, which is the profit margin. Okay. Let's see now. Once this loads, what we're going to do is pick a conversion event. So we're going to do purchase. Now it's gray on this account because we're not using this account for ads anymore. So that's why it's gray. It hasn't received a purchase fire in a long time. So right here, what we're gonna do for the motorcycle niche, I personally think the motorcycle niche is, let's just see, I think worldwide will work. Worldwide. And then what we're going to do is exclude a few countries. So we're going to exclude India, China. What else are we going to exclude? Africa, Pakistan, Indonesia. Okay, cool. And then we're going to leave this pretty broad. We'll probably do the English, though, for the language. Expand interest. And then right here, this is where the magic happens right here, guys. So we're going to pick So let's think of a motorcycle brand, obviously Harley Davidson. So Harley Davidson, there's one. So there's one interest. So then what we can do here, guys, is create multiple new ad sets. This is really gonna save you some time. And then we'll do, okay, I guess we gotta set this up again. That's kind of annoying, but it's not a big deal. So we're gonna do worldwide here. Worldwide. We're gonna exclude those countries again. India, China, Africa as a continent, Pakistan. Cool. And then what we're gonna do is do English for all these. Okay, so let's do this. So we're gonna do the detail targeting. So we did Harley Davidson, right? Harley Davidson, and then what we're gonna do is, since it's a worldwide audience, guys, now I always narrow down the audience. I always narrow it down. So this one's 22 million. So we're gonna do engaged shoppers too. This is a good way to bring it down a little bit and get some higher quality traffic from this, big broad audience. Now, when I do tier 1 countries, I don't use engaged shoppers. I only do this when I target worldwide, okay? And now we're gonna do another one. So Harley Davidson, so that's one brand, right? So let's just pretend we're doing 5 different interests. Let's keep this low budget for you guys out there that have low budgets. We have one brand, right? So now we need, for example, a passion interest. So let's look up motorcycle. Let's look up something that's smaller. Motorcycle club. Okay. Motorcycle accessories. Okay, let's go with the motorcycle accessories. I think that one's pretty solid. And then that one's like a lot smaller, more passionate. If somebody likes motorcycle accessories, they must like motorcycles, right? And then obviously we're gonna narrow it down by engaged shoppers again. Okay, so then we have 2, right? And now we're gonna do this again. And now let's see, we have the motorcycle accessories. So we have a passion interest, a brand. So let's think of a broad interest, something really broad. So just motorcycles in general. Just motorcycles. And then, of course, we're going to narrow it down by engaged shopper. So this audience is going to be our biggest one. And then what we're going to do, okay, so there's the third. So now we have a brand, we have a passion interest, and we have a broad interest. So now what we're going to do is, let's think of like a motorcycle. I mean, I don't know if this is a thing, but let's just see kind of what the suggestions pop up here. Motorcycle club. Okay. Yeah, let's do motorcycle club. That's almost like a, like a magazine type of thing. So let's do motorcycle club. That one's gonna work great. Okay, so let's see. We have, like a brand slash magazine, an actual brand, a broad interest, and a passion interest. So now we can pick another one. Since we're just doing 5, we can just pick another one of, whatever we really want to, honestly. At this point, honestly, you could even do something like for this last one we're going to test, we could do like a stack. So we could do a really passion interest. So for example, we could do motorcycle. So we could do motorcycle, custom motorcycle. So if somebody likes a custom motorcycle, that means they're willing to spend money on a motorcycle, right? And then what we can do is narrow this down by, let's just see, by motorcycles club. I think that could be really good. And then maybe we'll narrow it down further. No engaged shoppers, but another motorcycle interest. Let's do the helmet. I mean, that makes sense. If they like motorcycle helmets, they must like motorcycles a lot. So there we go. We have 5 different interests, right? We have 5 different interests. They're all in the categories that we talked about. And this is exactly how I like to structure my ad sets. Now, of course, we go down here. We pick the placement. We'll just do Facebook feeds and Instagram feeds. Sometimes, guys, it is important to split test them. But like I said, if you have a low budget, just do both. But if you have a bigger budget, it can be worthwhile to split test the 2. and then we'll just leave everything else just as it is. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is how I like to do my targeting, how I target for success. Hopefully this helped you out a ton. I'm really excited to keep bringing you this value. I absolutely love making content for the YouTube channel. And honestly, guys, a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders now that I finally released the course as well. And the reason why I was so stressed out about that is because, guys, I put a lot of work into my YouTube channel, and I don't want people to be able to kind of steal my content and create their own course out of it. So I decided to create my own course while I also keep bringing the fire to my YouTube channel. So I'm very happy with where everything has been going lately, and I'm very excited for you to join the fam. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, I appreciate all the support. We're growing super fast. I can't. The next goal now is 20K subs. So let's get there, and that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.